I'm not racist, I just can't stand morons.
Pizza power! With chameleons, lizards, and tadpoles, it hardly enters your mind that there's something better than this. A better sleep, better care, living the sea from the heaven. Believe me when I tell you the word gonna make us don't exist. But pizza power, I'm flying saucers through July. Pizza power, oh, that's what makes us feel alright.
Racism is a double-edged sword. It can be used to attack as well as defend. Hey everybody, BigAl here. Welcome to another edition of BigAl's Rants. Today we're going to talk about racism in its many forms, as well as people using racism as an excuse to get a better life. Look, we all know that racism is real. It's still as prominent today as it was years ago. But today everything is classified as racism. And today, people use it as an excuse as the free ride out of jail. For instance, let's take a look at the New York Police Department. They have to try very carefully not to get themselves in trouble, or else Al Sharpton is going to jump down their throats. What I mean by that is Al Sharpton is a piece of trash, okay? He's a racist pig. And yes, I'm getting that from Drinking with Bob. He's racist against everybody that isn't black. No. He doesn't even like black people. He only cares about himself. The only reason he's sticking up for black people when they get in trouble is so that he can get the big bucks. It also pisses me off when people say that illegal immigration is racist. When people talk about illegal immigrants going back to their own country, people say it's racist. It's not. It's the truth. People who are illegally coming here need to go back. I don't know why people say that Drinking with Bob is racist when he clearly says he has no problem with regular immigrants as long as they come here the right way, get all their visa cards, get their passport, get all the necessary documentation they need to come here. It's the illegal ones that come here on a floating door that piss him off. And it also pisses me off when people say, oh, they work just as hard as you, they need to stay here. Well, you know what? I don't think turning into Solid Snake and sneaking across the border is considered working hard. And let's talk about reparations for a second, okay? There's no need for reparation, okay? You know, I don't know about you, but I think, no, not being racist here. There's a term that I come up with. It's called, I'm not racist, I just can't stand morons. What I mean by that is, I have no problem with any certain race, but it's the people who claim to represent that race and who come from that race that piss me off. So like if I say, I hate Al Sharpton, it's not because I'm racist, it's not because I hate black people, it's because I despise Al Sharpton because he's racist against everybody except his own color. And why is it just black people bitching about how they've suffered the hardships of slavery? You know what? They weren't the only ones as slaves, okay? Indians were slaves. You don't hear them bitching about how we stole their land. The Jews were slaves. You don't hear them bitching about how Germany enslaved them and killed them off, and you sure as hell ain't hearing the illegal immigrants complaining because we're giving them everything on a silver frickin' platter. So, people, shut up, okay? You don't earn jack shit, okay? Now, slavery was a long time ago. It's over now. Deal with it. It's been over for years, okay? At least for your color skin. You know, I know there's slavery still overseas for, like, sex slaves that are only, like, 12 years old in, like, in the Middle East and the Far East, okay? But slavery for you guys, it's over. Deal with it, okay? I'm still pissed about the fact that they're pissed about the Pokemon Jinx, because it kinda looks like she's wearing blackface. You know what Jinx looks like. She has the long hair, she has the black face, and she has the big purple lips. They were all up in arms about that, saying, oh my god, Pokemon's racist, forcing Nintendo to change the character design. Same thing with Mega Man Powered Up. Look at Oil Man. The NAACP got really pissed when Nintendo came out not Nintendo, when the PSP came out with Mega Man powered up with a new character called Oil Man, and he's black skinned with big pink lips. They got pissed about that. And even today, with Resident Evil 5, people are saying, oh, it's a racist hate crime game where you kill black people. It's a fucking game. Get over it, okay? Plus, it's not racist because they're not people. They're zombies. They're infected with a virus. Let's say a horde of black zombies came down my street. I'm not going to hesitate and say, maybe I shouldn't shoot them because that would be a hate crime and consider me racist. No, it's a zombie. I'm going to blow the fucker's head off. And even on YouTube, people are debating about it. There was a long-lost episode of Betty Boop from the 40s, okay? I was watching it. I was wondering why it was deleted and not shown. And you'd think, basically the show's plot was this. It was called Stars of the Future. Betty Boop was showing all these little babies from different nationalities that were having all these special abilities. And, guess who just happened to show up on stage? 3 black babies who look like stereotypical black people back in the cartoons in the 40s, okay? They were totally black, they had nappy hair, they had big-ass lips, and all their diapers were chained with one giant bobby pin, to represent, I guess, chains or something. And the backdrop for this little thing that they were going to do was a cotton field. And guess what they were called? The Colorful Three. And then I guess they were dancing, and then they accidentally knocked each other's heads, and they were singing slave songs like "Heidi Hi, Heidi Ho" as they were crying. Okay. And the funniest part was, this might consider me racist, but I don't give a shit. The funniest part was when you see the MC's hand with a plate with a big ass slice of watermelon, and they were following it. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen. And you look in the audience, there's a stereotypical big black mama with her moo and her hair tied back with a bobby pin and her big ass lips. And people were like, oh my god, I know why this is banned now, because of the stereotypical look. No, it wasn't banned because of that. Here's why it was banned. This is the 40s. Think about the morals back then, okay? Segregation. The reason why it was banned is not because of the stereotypical view of black people in that show. They were fine with that. But because a black woman was sitting with a white audience in the cartoon, that wasn't allowed. And people are like, oh my god, this is so racist, and think of it. They're only they've got to be, the people watching and bitching about how the black people are portrayed have got to be the most ignorant people I've ever seen. Because meanwhile, you see a Japanese baby with his hair like Ramen Man from Ultimate Muscle, and he's shooting things, but a Jack-in-the-Box pops out and he runs away. Then you see a bunch of Latin American babies who are awesome at music, and the girl babies are not wearing any shirts, and they have the little skirts on, and then at the end they show them all being fed by this one milk machine, which basically making fun of women. If the only thing you're offended at is the fact that the black people look like monkeys, then there's something freaking wrong with you. I'll show a link to that Betty Boop so you can see exactly what I mean. You can read some of the comics. They're the funniest shit I've ever seen. So anyway, that's my thing about racism. I don't condone it at all. I'm just tired of people crying racism when there's no reason to be crying it out. Big Al, over now.